Hello, it's Frankie. Um, it's been a really long time since I've done one of these videos, and I really need to start getting into a weekly schedule for these. I'm sorry to all the people that have subscribed to this. I really need to do more videos, but yeah. So I've finished like the first half of or like the first section of our tutorial on how to make a dubstep song, which is the bass line. So what we're gonna want to do now is add some drums. So hold on here. So I've already done this like twice, and both of the times I've tried to record this same tutorial, something's been wrong. So let's hope that this time everything's gonna work and I can upload this. So I've already made these, but I'm gonna go through how I made these. So it's gonna So those are the drums, except there will be a little thing added to the kick. This is a new technique that I've found out since I last tried to record this tutorial. So, let's start. I have an ultra beat here, which, not really sure what the default would be. Let's see. Okay, so this is, oh, I know what this is. It's just this little 8080 type kit. So when you open up Ultra Beat here, which is the drum machine in Logic, it's the easiest thing for me to use. You're going to want to go up here to this top bar, click here, drum kits. You're going to want to go to drag and drop samples, and this is basically just a clean slate. It's all empty here, which is easiest for me to work with. So what we're going to want to do is open up a kick sound by what I just did there. I'm going to repeat it. I'm not really explaining this too well. You want to click on this no sample loaded above this here and click load sample, and then it'll open up this window. But before that, I need to check which kicks I used. Okay. So I'm going to go into my hard drive here. Go to my samples folder. And I have this really good sample pack that was my first sample pack I ever got, which was really good. I got it from a friend in LA. So here I'm just in the bass drums, which is like kick drums and stuff. I'm in here. So I just browsed through this to find a good kick sound that I liked. That's pretty cool. I have to remember that. So this was the one that I ended up using, one of the 3 kicks. We're going to layer 3. But this was the one that I ended up using because it does sound abnormally clean compared to the other ones. So I'm going to open up the second one we used, which sounds a little bit like this, which is a bit of a heavier one, which I use in a lot of my kicks. I've used that. I really need to make new kick drum sounds. I have like 8 kick drum sounds I've made. So, and then this third one, hold on. Okay. So I picked a third one here, which is number 39. That's a good one. But anyways, so I have these 3 kicks now. So I can't play them all together because with caps lock keys for some reason you can't. So I'm just going to draw in. Where's the velocity completely down? Okay, so I need to turn up the velocity on these. Okay. Let's just turn it up to 80. That's the default here. So I'm just going to solo this and loop this so we can just hear our kick drum. So right now, as you can see, it's very short and has absolutely no bass. And that is because on the envelopes here for the kick, it's only playing 36 milliseconds of the sample. And it's using sustain, which means that it's only going to play for how long this note is held. So we're going to turn off sustain, let's just solo this first one and get it perfect. First one. So you can see that's what it's trying to play, is just that. So let's change the look of this a little. This is the how the volume changes over time. So it's a little shorter. What we're gonna want is just a bassy sort of thing, but against all odds, we're gonna cut the bass out of all of these. So we're gonna go here, click on this EQ, turn it to this shelf mode, turn it down all the way, and we can change where we want it to go, and let's just put it at 100 hertz. Here. Like that. That was a bit picky, I really didn't need to fix that, but okay. So now, number 2, turn off the sustain. Let's do the same thing, but maybe leave a little bit more release for this, because it's got a cool kind of punchy decay. And then turn off the low end again, do the same thing, turn this up to around 100. And the same thing with the third one here. It's got a really nice bass as is, this one. I'm not even sure if we're going to need to add this 4th kick, but for right now, let's just kind of, let's do the same thing. Just get rid of it. No, not that high. Okay, so now let's move on to our 4th sample. That's what it sounds like all together. It's kind of messy, but that's weird. It sounds very off-key. It's kind of weird. Here, let me play my other kick really quick. I don't think it's supposed to sound like that. No. Okay, so it's just because there's no bass in it at the moment. So let's load our last sample here. And I found this sample on Freesound. It's a really, really nice, clean, just bass kick, which works really well for pretty much everything. I really need to get this to stop. Hold on. Stop. Okay. Let's try that again. Samples. It's somewhere in here. Here we go. Which is just a really nice, clean. It sounds kind of dancey, but it actually works really, really well for dubstep. So let me add this 3rd note here so we can hear all 4. That is the wrong thing. I'm trying to edit my snares right now. Okay. Okay, let's go here and add it, because that might work a little bit better. And then, so that little last like white noisy thing, we're not going to really want. We just want that initial bass hit. So without, with, which honestly doesn't sound too different. I wonder, I need to figure this out. Hold on. Okay, well, I think maybe just these need to be turned down. Yeah, there we go. Nice punchy kick there. So I think there maybe is a little bit too long of a decay on these though. There's that extra like the extra like breathing type thing. Oh my god. Okay. Okay, so it's not that. That was good. No, stop. Something is happening. My computer has been running really slowly lately. Slow lately, not slowly. Well, I guess either one's grammatically correct. I don't really. Anyways. There we go. That's what it was. So that's really like in your face type kick. That's actually a really good kick. I think I'm going to save that for later, which I will show how to do after I make the snare. I think I'll just show today. But so for the kick drums, now we can add a little bit of a pattern. Well, let's make the snare first, because then you can kind of go off of how the snare is. The beat makes a little bit more sense. So let's solo our snare here, and let's title these kicks. Snares. So I found this really good sample pack by this guy named Crispy Dinner, and this was also I found on Freesound. I would highly recommend you go on Freesound and find this sample pack. It's called Mighty Snares, and it's very good. And I need to restart this so I can show you from scratch how I did this. So load sample, go find my packs here, and you can see I have this Mighty Snares by Crispy Dinner, which is really good. I used quite a few of these. I need to find out. Well, they're all really nice. I have reverb on. I'm going to shut that off because we don't want the reverb right now. And I need to check which one I used. Okay. So now I have to go back into the sample pack again, which is way over 5 folders. Anyways, so let me find the ones I used. I ended up using this one, which I can see why. I've used that one. That sounds very familiar to me. That one. A lot of these sound really similar, but I mean, they're all minutely different. So 1182290. No. Okay, here we go. Okay, well, Logic is glitching and only playing a section of it, but I know that that's a good one. So I can play it after. Sometimes Ultra Beat's kind of glitchy and buggy with this preview sample thing in the window. But let me open up the third one that I used here. This one. Which it's doing the same thing, and I can't use it. So, well, I can use it, but I mean, I can't hear what it sounds like until I open it. So, I already made a new little MIDI thing here, but let me move this over. So together we have, and as you can hear, the snare is kind of weak. So let's do the same thing. We need to turn up the decay on these. I think this one I just let it run all the way open, which sounds nice. And then the first one, I think I did the same thing. I just let it open, play the whole sample through. And then the second one, I think I changed, yeah. So here, yeah, there we go. A nice kind of, maybe a little bit less. That sounds a bit too like, there we go. And so now you can hear it sounds very short, which I mean is punchy and good, but I mean you don't want to just have that initial thing adding some reverb, which I just shut off. But I wanted to show you how you really use reverb. So as you can tell, that's way too much reverb. You're not going to want to put the wet here. The wet is how much reverb there is. And then this is the time, which obviously that is way, way, way too much. You're probably not going to want to go above 20. I never go above 16. It's kind of picky. I have 16 or 17. Don't go above that. But that's kind of the best thing is anywhere from 15 through 17. Let me solo it so you can hear it some more. You don't want too much. Just a little bit. Like that. So without. And then I had this EQ here, which I'm going to set back to normal. I really forgot about EQing. really forgot to really, I just said really about 5 times. But EQing, you want to turn on the analyzer here. You can see which frequencies are good, where there's a lot of. You're going to want to boost this one around 200, just a little, just like a dB and a half. This high, maybe only like 2 or 3. I think 2 is good, maybe pull it down a little. And then cut the bass, because you do not want the bass here. I don't know why it was, but just like that works. So I turned up the low pass, just cut everything. So, the kicks here, probably gonna want to do the same thing. I already have one. I'm just gonna show you what I did. So turn up the highs a little, cut the mids just a little. This is all by like a dB and a half. And then turn up the bass just a little. Kicks don't need that much work. They're not that hard to deal with. So let's make this a bit longer. Let's loop this here. And then let's just make a little pattern here. So let's go boom, clap. I think this is a good starting thing. So let's make this one color here, like this. And let's copy it by clicking Alt, click, and then you can just copy it. And let's make another pattern here and color it a different color. Whack. There we go. And let's copy this again. Do something different, like maybe just sort of 4 on the floor type dealy, like this. Change this to a different color. I don't know why this is being so picky, but it should just change colors easier. And then this pattern's going to sound familiar if any of you have listened to Skrillex, which I doubt you have not listened to. This type thing, which is he uses a lot. So, I guess that's a good starter kick pattern, but we're going to want to make more later, which I'll go into. But let me show you how to export these good samples we have made. So you're just going to want to take one here. So I just have one that's playing. Just one sound. So it's playing all of them together just one time. Let's solo it. Okay. And now you're going to want to turn the loop on to like how long the sample is. So if I zoom in here, you can see exactly where it is when this goes absolutely. The volume level completely disappears. Once it starts to just fall, that's when it's ended. So if I can, I think maybe a little bit longer. So that's just the kick sample. So it's just playing the kick sample. And this is defining specifically how much of the, like how long we want the sample to be. So that's how long we want it to be. We can just go up here and click bounce. Let it take forever to load. And then we can bounce this down as kick. Now what I would do is bounce this down into a folder that I have all my samples in, but actually I will export it into mine because it is a good sample. So I'm going to go back into my samples thing. I would recommend you make your own sample pack here. So I have subjection, sample pack. I can go into kicks, and then I can make kick 13 here. So I've just made a bunch of kicks. I'd recommend exporting it as a WAV or an MP3. I think I'm going to do a WAV though because it's higher quality. And sometimes for some reason when you export as MP3 from Logic, it like locks the file sometimes. And so when you try to make changes to it when you import it back in, like just as an audio file, you can't reverse it or you can't do anything. It won't let you. I don't know why. That it's just they don't let it happen. So let me turn caps lock off because I want this to look nice. Kick 13. I think just these samples are good. I doubt we're gonna need anything higher. Yeah, 24-bit. I wish I could do 32, but I can't. And we just click bounce, and it should take like 2 seconds. And it's done. So we can do the same thing for the snare. I'm just gonna copy over this MIDI thing down to here. And it's gonna just play the snare. But as you can tell, this has a longer decay, so I don't know why it's glitching. It's just having a weird glitch. Let me move it over. My computer's been slowing down a lot lately. It's been overloaded with a bunch of stuff, especially when I'm using this recording software. So that's playing the whole sample through, so let's do the same thing. Let's bounce it. Put this into my snares. I have a lot of snares. I'm just categorizing this by how I do this. Okay, so now we can just click bounce. Now for some reason, since Logic is freaking out, I'm just going to go in and double check that it bounced correctly. Come on, computer, you can do this. So let me move this window over here. I'm going to go into my hard drive like so. Go to subjection sample pack. Click on snares. I put it into my hyped snares. And it did not export correctly. I think I'm going to export it again because that might sound good even without that one kick. That's just like, oh, I think I know what the problem might be. There's this weird thing. It might just be kind of offsetting it. This is weird. I do not know why it's doing this. Oh, it's because one is slightly early. I think. Let me zoom in here. God, I don't know why it's doing this. Logic should not be this picky. Just move it over. Just a little bit. That just made it worse. Anyways, this should normally work. You can just export the thing. I don't really care too much. This snare sound isn't, in my opinion, very good. But, I mean, it's different for different songs, but I think it fits pretty well with this song. So, so far, this is what we have. So, there you go. Oh, no. Save. I'm kidding. I'm gonna save this again later, but yeah. Anyways, sorry, this has been very off. I haven't done this in a long time. I kind of forgot how I used to do this. So, I hope you enjoyed this. I hope it helped, although it might not have. And I will see you guys sometime soon, hopefully. I'm going to try to do these every Monday and Friday. I'm setting myself an alarm weekly so I don't forget. And I will try to. And school starts in like a week for me, so it might be kind of tough. So, but I'll see. I'll try to do these as much as possible as long as I remember. So, yeah, I haven't done this in a long time. I've had a lot of stuff coming up. I'm sending out songs to record labels. And I hope it goes well, but I'm trying to get a few songs done. So, yeah. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe. I will be doing more. I'm sorry I've been really off of it. I have not done one all summer since school got out. I'm like, hey, I did this video after, because it's my first day of summer and I haven't done one since. So, I hope this helps. And if you like this, like and favorite. Helps a lot. And yeah, see you soon. Bye!